Well, this guy looks like an active and willing participant in the P. Diddy parties.
Every intersectional soul still seeking sanctuary. Let's be clear.
You slay, Muhammad. As of course, we got some very interesting, eye-opening developments surrounding the P. Diddy case that is still ongoing and probably will be going on for a long time. All of this as we have new celebrities that are being mentioned here. A lot of weird things coming up once again here, as I think the prosecution is doing an absolutely horrible job. A juror has been kicked off. Why? What's really going on here? As of course, a lot of people are saying that the game is rigged against P. Diddy, who might testify. If he does, that would be very bombastic, interesting, captivating, as of course this story just continues to get stranger and stranger, especially in the world of debauchery, which seems to be something that, of course, all of the stories are surrounded with. Again, lots of weird stuff. We're going to get right into it and a lot more. If you appreciate this and all the updates, subscribe, click the notification button because, again, truly, lots of weird stuff that the prosecution is not picking up on that I think they should be investigating, but they never will. As the latest information we're getting is that the jurors were just shown a freak-off adult tape as the videos, the photos that people are being shared around are very adult in nature. Again, this is a family-friendly show. We're not going to be getting into a lot of the kind of more weird adult stuff. And there's just a lot of that. As we have Diddy's team also arguing for a mistrial. We have reports that some of the jury is shocked as they are shown some of the videos, specifically a black juror that frowned her brow and winced Monday while watching the first of 3 clips of freak-offs, which ran from 20 to 30 seconds. Another black female juror moved uncomfortably in her seat and put her head to her head as she watched the footage. 2 of the films lasted 11 minutes, and a third was 39 minutes, but jurors were only shown a small amount. The videos were only shown as prosecution on a prosecution laptop and to the jury, who wore headphones. Music could be heard faintly in the court from the videos and what appeared to be groaning. The videos were taken in October 2012, where a record show to the jury indicated that Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Casey Ventura, was taking part in a freak-off at the Trump International Hotel in New York with 2 male escorts. One of them was known as the, quote, Punisher, and the other one was called Dave. Dave has to improve his branding there. Jurors had previously been shown stills from the Marathon S sessions. They have also heard audio featuring Jane. Jane's another person that has been testifying. Her testimony also is weird. Cross-examination is also kind of talking about how, a lot of these people, whether they like it or not, look like they were active participants in a lot of this, as there's a lot of text messages, a lot of statements being specifically made here, showing enthusiasm by some of the, quote, alleged victims here that have already scored tens of millions of dollars from either hotels or Diddy himself. Now, there's another escort that was named at the trial who broke his silence about some of the, quote, harrowing details of the freak-offs here, as it looks like Popeye the Sailor Man here took the stand. And it's just weird to see someone's private personal life be shown here. As, of course, this guy, Sean Daring, was among more than 10 men hired to perform at Diddy's parties. It was revealed during the R&B singer's testimony. What were some of the hiring details here? I don't even want to know. As of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding this story, rightfully so, since the prosecution isn't really doing a good job here. As, quote, internet trolls have tried to connect some of the Americans' biggest names, from Barack Obama and Kamala Harris to Beyonce and Jay-Z, to Diddy's alleged misconduct. Well, they were all friends, right? They were all hanging out. Diddy's friends list was the biggest supporters of Kamala Harris that went out and campaigned for her, including, of course, individuals who said that they would not get politically involved, and they just got politically involved. Prince and Kim Porter were brought into the discussion posthumously, with theorists alleging both detailed Diddy's alleged exploits before his, quote, passing. Others even went as far as to baselessly claim Los Angeles' fires was an attempt to burn the evidence. Again, yes, there's a lot of conspiracies here. Why? Because the government's not really being that forefront when it comes to answering a lot of the very kind of serious questions here. I think the biggest development right now was that a juror was just dismissed. Now, he was dismissed because the judge came out and said there were some discrepancies between where he said he lived, where he actually lived. A lot of people are saying that this was a black juror, which would highlight a situation where some people are saying, well, the situation could be rigged because he could have been the only holdout that could have potentially saved Diddy. As we know, that happens. It happens in cases like the O.J. Simpson trial, and it happens in other ones where people view each other as tribes and groups and vote and judge someone based along their kind of similarities between them. It's not an anomaly that would happen. And is that what happened here? And that's why the prosecutors argued to get rid of him and the judge got rid of him? Could be a potential kind of setup job to put Diddy away so he doesn't speak out about what he allegedly really knows. Now, there's a lot of other theories. As there's a lot of different requests here. Madonna was just brought up. There's that weird Mike Myers CIA thing. Before talking about that and a lot more, we wanted to tell you about the bestpoliticalshirts.com. I decided to bring out my old school shirt. I had this shirt for like 5 years, I think. Still holding true to itself. Again, when you wash it, just remember to wash it inside out. If there's any damage when you get your shirt or when you first wash your shirt inside out, you could get a new shirt right away when you contact the sellers of the shirt. So this one reads, war is murder, taxation is theft, police are gangs, politicians are criminals. I think that used to be my moniker when I was doing video games. And when I was playing video games and doing live streams, I would always jump in with a random team of people, and then I would always start that off by declaring that openly, and then there would be an interesting discussion that, of course, happened after that. But I like having interesting discussions. I think it's up to all of us to start these interesting discussions. I think it's up to all of us to try to do our part to inform people, to let them know what's going on, but to more importantly, build friendships and communities together. And nothing does that better and easier than showing up to public events, getting to know people, and letting people know exactly who you are, where you stand. And you can do that by making a very declarative statement on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. I mean, this shirt right here, come on. $25 for a long sleeve. And it reads here, where's the Epstein client list? That's a good, where's the Epstein list? Yeah, where is it? We have another shirt of someone that we absolutely agree with today. Tucker Carlson, who came out very bombastically today against all of the major kind of foreign policy geopolitical blunders that are being made right now in our current political system. And we absolutely agree with what Tucker Carlson is doing here. We have a Tucker Carlson for 2028 president shirt. And then we, of course, have, a Mike Obama 2028 presidential shirt that if you read between the lines, it's very eye-opening. I like to make people laugh. I try to make people laugh. We either laugh or we cry at this moment in time. And I want to make people laugh. You want to make people laugh? Get a shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. You support us, but you support, more importantly, this kind of global mass awakening of human beings that have said enough is enough. The truth matters. This is my truth. This is what I speak. This is who I am. And when you start living a world and a life like that, the world starts opening up for you. Now, let's talk about this juror here, because this is kind of peculiar. That this guy was dismissed because of, quote, lack of candor. As this was juror number 6. He lived in the Bronx, but in a recent offhand conversation with a court security officer from the jury department, he indicated he had moved in with his girlfriend in New Jersey. Prosecutors notified the court about the inconsistencies last week, and that's why they kicked him out of here? No, I'm sorry. Something's weird. This is just a little weird here. Okay, he said he lived in the Bronx, but he moved in with his girlfriend. Doesn't sound like any kind of bias for me. The fact that, there could be an argument being made here. He's not a resident of New York City. Has he officially changed his residency? How much time does he spend in his Bronx apartment? How many times does he spend in his New Jersey apartment? As, of course, he can't be a juror for someone that he is not in the same jurisdiction of. So I guess that makes sense here. As the juror was replaced by a white man. Oh, no! Trigger the woke police. Black man loses key important role to a white man. As Diddy's team wasn't too happy about this. Listen, that juror could have saved Diddy's behind, literally and figuratively. Diddy's team has been moving for a mistrial, and that, of course, has been denied. There were multiple requests for a mistrial, as now the Diddy defense is arguing that there was prosecutorial misconduct, as over the weekend, defense attorney for Combs filed a letter renewing their request for a mistrial, accusing the prosecution of presenting false testimony from witness Brianna Bongalongla, a close friend of Casey Ventura, who testified last week that Combs once dangled her over a 17th floor balcony at Ventura's home in 2016. The judge ruled on Tuesday that defense was not prejudiced by Bangola's testimony because they were able to conduct a vigorous cross-examination of Bangola, specifically pertaining to the timing of the alleged balcony incident. The Diddy team has been trying to get any kind of mistrial. They've been trying to get evidence thrown out here. They said that CNN tape was fake, that it was not real. We also have very news of no one other than Ye. Kanye West arrived at the Diddy trial in support of the, quote, freak-off king. He walked in, stayed in for a little bit, and then walked out, as his appearance definitely made a lot of headlines here, as a lot of people were claiming that he also could be facing some accusations against him for his past behavior. And a lot of people allege that the two brothers, some people allege that they're both undercover brothers. Who knows? There's a lot of allegations flying back and forth here. But Ye, making free Diddy shirts here on his website, definitely is indicative of just how bewildering this entire case is. Now, there's a lot of people here testifying under fake aliases, under fake names. There's a John Doe, and there's other ones. As right now, one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends is facing cross-examination from the defense about her kind of harrowing testimony about the hotel nights, despite the alleged abuse. Quote, Yahoo News writes that she told the court that she still loves Diddy, who she believes may have been exploring being an undercover brother by watching her do adult acts with other men. Listen. When it comes to kind of degeneracy and adult content, there's like a sliding scale here where you just get weirder and weirder and weirder the more you kind of consume it, the more it kind of consumes you, and the more like stranger, weird stuff that you need to get your kind of rocks off here. That's why a lot of adult content I think is weaponized, and I think it's so free and so readily available in order to kind of dehumanize and to destroy personal intimacy that sadly a lot of people don't have with themselves and their loved ones and their partners anymore because of this kind of overabundance of self-fulfilling, lustful type of behavior that sadly takes away from any kind of legitimate connection, building of relationships, and normal, harmonious types of adult partnerships. Now, this trial, Jane is a pseudonym for one of the victims here, from the ex-girlfriend who testified here. And there's a lot of weird type of testimony here. But she's claiming Combs abused, threatened, and coerced her to participate in these substance-fueled marathon adult encounters called freak-offs, and how Diddy, quote, used his business empire along with threats of violence as well as arson to, quote, conceal his crimes. I mean, the guy got a key to the city not so long ago from the Mayor Eric Adams. And he was running around, and a lot of people knew. A lot of people were always making very weird comments in Hollywood, as there's a lot of very predatory people in Hollywood that just seem to be given the pass. There's a lot more of them that haven't been fully dealt with and haven't been held responsible for a lot of their kind of weird stuff. But with the case of Diddy, the defense is making an argument that he was just a freak. And from all cases here, yeah, especially when you look at a lot of the substances he was taking, and when you look at substance abuse, when you look at having all the money in the world, all the fame in the world, when you look at having connections to the Clintons and the Obamas, which they're not looking into at all. They're not testifying. They're not even being investigated. They're not even asked by the prosecutors, hey, what was going on here? Now, Diddy's ex-girlfriend testified for 3 days, direct testimony, as she, quote, tearfully recounted the harrowing adult encounters, telling the court that she felt obligated to perform adult acts on Combs with other men because she was paying her rent. She also testified about a brutal assault she endured before Combs ordered her to cover up her injuries and take substances for an impromptu, quote, hotel night. The 55-year-old hip-hop mogul is facing 5 criminal counts, 1 count of racketeering, conspiracy, 2 counts of trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 other counts of transportation to engage in workers of the night here. From all accounts here, from all the legal experts that I'm seeing, people are saying, yeah, Diddy's probably going to go down for more than 10 years. Now, all it takes is 1 juror, but I think the 1 juror that was more aligned with Diddy was just ousted. I think right now, because I was like looking at the jury, I was looking at the kind of cross-examination, I was looking at a lot of these kind of weird stuff surrounding, a lot of these, quote, victims that were watching back the S-tapes, that were texting encouragement and support and anticipation and excitement for a lot of this stuff. So, yeah. We're also finding out Diddy had a bizarre role play kink with NBA stars. Yes, where he pretended to be Michael Jordan and he pretended other people to be Kobe Bryant and Shaq. Yep. Again, this is so embarrassing. I mean, Diddy's kids are just listening to all of this, and it's like, geez, man, really? Why are we inundated with all this? Is Diddy's wildest fantasies involved a twisted NBA role play, casting himself as Michael Jordan, his ex-girlfriend as Kobe Bryant, and the male worker of the night she regularly slept with as Shaquille O'Neal. The ex testified on day 2 of the 5th week in the disgraced rat mogul's trafficking trial. Now, a lot of other people were named: Madonna, Leonardo DiCaprio. They were just name dropped. They were mainly name dropped by Diddy's ex assistant that revealed her employment with Madonna after she was fired, and text messages that also mention, of course, encounters with celebrity elites like Leonardo DiCaprio. Mick Jagger was also mentioned here, and of course, all these people hung out with each other. All these people were surrounded by themselves and privy and able to do whatever they wanted to. As the Daily Mail writes, Hollywood heavyweights like Mick Jagger, Leo DiCaprio, and Madonna were pulled into the spotlight as Diddy's legal team sifted through a trove of text messages between Diddy and his former assistant, aggressively questioning her about her past employees and connections. Mia, a former personal assistant to the hip-hop mogul, even revealed that she was once propositioned by the Rolling Stones singer while in Paris, but, quote, ran away. Mia testified under a pseudonym, said Diddy once mocked DiCaprio as that Titanic MFer and said he won more money. He said he won more money than the actor. In her testimony, Mia also revealed that after stopping working for Diddy, she got a job with Madonna, who didn't care that she had been, quote, blacklisted. The testimony came as prosecutors continued mounting their case, and Mia was subjugated to an aggressive cross-examination by Diddy's lawyers, Brian Steele here. Now, I thought the most interesting thing so far to come out of all of this was that the assistant previously helped Michael Myers, she wrote this on her resume, have a secret trip to the CIA with the Secret Service. Okay? Why are Hollywood actors having secret field trips to the CIA? Oh! Mike Myers also just endorsed that liberal leader in Canada that is a Bilderberg member, that is a part of all the secret societies. And he came out and did videos with him and told him to support him. Huh. Interesting how that happens. Listen, there's probably a bigger CIA component here. But are we going to find out from the Southern District of New York if that's the actual case here? Nope. No. Probably will not happen here. As, of course, a lot of this is just absolutely crazy. We're getting a lot of the debaucherous stuff. We're getting low mentions of some celebrities. As I said, don't expect any major fireworks here. This is clearly a cover-up effort trying to cover up a lot of the very more prominent, powerful people here. A lot of people are already seeing Diddy as someone who is kind of sick and twisted here. That's pretty clear. Now, is he going to be guilty of all of his charges? What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Get a t-shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. They're pretty cheap, pretty affordable. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechanged.